My name is Jennifer Little. I'm the director and instructor of theater here at Oakland Community College. I'm also the director of the play That Goes Wrong.
Hi, my name is Kieran DeRay Lambert. I'm the acting coach for Oakland Community College Theater.
Hi, I'm Kat Sturgis. I'm a student here at OCC and I am the assistant stage manager for the play That Goes Wrong.
My name is Phoenix Janowski and I'm a student at both OEC and OCC. So I am a stagehand and I love it so much. It's so much fun.
My name is Alexandria Cessna and I'm interpreter.
We had auditions back in December as soon as we finished up Jekyll and Hyde because I wanted students to have the scripts before winter break so they would have the chance to study over the break. We actually had a lot of people audition. I was really excited. We had more talent than I could use for this particular show, which is lovely. It's a plethora of talent. It's always lovely to have more than you can use. Also always makes me a little sad because I want to use everyone. And that wasn't possible in this show because of the physical comedy and the set demands. But the auditions went really well. I was surprised at both new talent and existing talent that stepped outside their comfort zone.
It was very relaxed. I think everyone had a lot of fun during it, which is surprising for an audition. I really liked that there were a lot of new faces in the audition. And I also think that everyone did a very good job.
Last production, it was Jekyll and Hyde, and I was a part of that one. And I was asked to come back and do another show, so I said yes.
I sort of just emailed the director and was like, hey, can I assistant stage manage? And she was like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
I think the most challenging part of bringing this script in particular to life is that most of the comedy of this show is physical. It's a lot of
You dip! Damn crafty devil!
it's a lot of physicality. So you can say the funny words in a funny way, but if you don't fully commit with your whole body to falling off a couch or tripping over something, then it's not truthful, and nobody likes comedy that doesn't tell the truth. I also think that it's been a challenge to incorporate the ASL interpreters because we are asking them to do more physically than interpreters typically would for a presentation or a lecture or kind of a town hall event. We also, as you'll see in the show, ask our interpreters to get as physical as the actors, tripping over things and falling over things. So that's been a real learning. It's been a learning challenge, but it's been a fun one, I think, for everyone involved.
The most challenging part, I would say, is actually in terms of character work, just because they have to both play their actor and their actor's character in the show. So, like, Max is playing both Arthur and Cecil in the show. And so he has to do two different sets of character work for that. So I think that's just difficult because it's hard to separate the play within the play.
I think the most challenging part about bringing the script to life is incorporating all the visual sight gags that we have to, because it's hard to visualize that in a script.
No. Oh, you could have did that.
I think things are going really well so far. One of the tricky things we've got working for us is we're in the winter season at OCC, which is a tighter turnaround to put a show up on its feet. For the fall show, we had what felt like 3 weeks more, and that's a lot in the world of theater. So while I can't believe that we're opening in just a couple of days, I feel like we're in a really, really good place. Last night's rehearsal went really well. Just keeping the actors focused is very hard. These are longer days. I know personally I need a snack every 2 hours or I lose focus, so the actors are under a lot of pressure this week. They have to remember their lines, they have to remember to step into the light for their light cue, they have to remember to wait for sound cues to happen. These are all new things for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cornley Drama Society's presentation of The Murder at Haversham Manor.
Hi, I'm Megan O'Brien, and I am the lighting designer for The Play That Goes Wrong. Tech Week is the time where we put all of the elements together. So the actors have been rehearsing and they've been on the stage, but we're adding now the lights, the set, the costumes. We add all of those elements in, and we do it all in 1 week, and so that we can get ready to open.
Tech Week is, in my opinion, the most important week of any production. It's usually the week leading up to the opening night. What Tech Week is for is to take all the things the actors have been rehearsing, all the blocking that we've done, and drop in all of the other designers' designs. So usually we get to warm up a little bit with the set because that takes multiple weeks to build and establish. But things like sound design, things like lighting design, those are kind of last minute things that we give the actors. So the purpose of this week really is to, number one, get the actors used to all of these new cues that we're giving them. Flashing lights, sound cues they haven't heard before, and then get the light and sound crew up to speed with calling those cues in repetition with the actors. So we do multiple runs of the show. We'll hold if there are any problems. But really, it's getting our two different parts of the stage, the backstage and the onstage, to start communicating in the same kind of rhythm.
Because it usually typically only takes 1 week. It's a time for us to really push all of the elements together. Everyone has been working separately, so if everyone has done all of their prep right, it shouldn't take more than 1 week. But also, as a professional lighting designer, I have to do other shows, so it's doing it all, putting all those elements together for 1 week allows me to work, to come here and work here. I've actually been here for 2 weeks, and then I'll go off and I go off to Connecticut when the show opens to go and do my next one.
Because we're at a community college. Truthfully, different levels of theater are structured differently. So because we are primarily an educational institution, we work with student schedules. If this were a professional theater, what we would probably do is have 8 weeks of rehearsal in a black box studio, and then we would move to a stage with a set mostly or completely built, and we'd probably have anywhere from 2 weeks to 3 weeks of tech rehearsal. We would do 1 week of just tech running things, and those would be long days. Those would be full days from like 9 a.m. to 5. It would be a regular job. Typically, tech rehearsals go much later. There are union laws about how long you're allowed to do tech rehearsal for because of that and how often you need to have breaks. And then what would happen is we would do a night of previews, especially in a professional world, where we would invite audience in to come and see a show. It would not be a full show. If we needed to stop or hold for technical issues, we would still do that with the audience in. But yeah, just based on how big the theater is, where you are as far as like level of theater versus community or professional, it really just determines how long you can ask your crew to be there for and how long you get their dedication for it too. Typically at professional theaters, you're hired for a show with a very explicit contract. These are the hours you'll be working and the expectations. Our designers here don't just design for us, they design for other colleges, other theaters, so they're usually designing 2 or 3 shows at a time.
I think it'd be doing okay. Obviously, there's stuff to polish. There's always going to be more stuff that we want to do, more things to clean up. But I think we ran yesterday, and I think it went pretty well. We only held once, everything. So I think we could open today, but of course, we're always trying to strive for that perfection.
Oh, absolutely. I think this show would happen from start to finish, and we would tell the story. Now, whether or not there were a couple of mishaps, maybe, but with the way the show is written, it'd be perfectly designed into the show. So absolutely, we could have an audience in here tonight. We should have an audience in here tonight. Be good for the actors to start hearing some of the laughs, some of the audience reactions that, I seeing the show so many times, only laugh at certain things now. Putting an audience in there is a whole different energy.